little red dot that says record on
Yeah.
this time. All right, we are here in Idaho to kick off our Idaho hunt. It's September 15th and halfway through the month, and today is the first day I get to carry my bow. So super excited. John and I came over early. Donnie's driving over tonight, and he'll be here tonight, but we've got a couple hours of daylight, so we're gonna sneak up the ridge and see if we can't hear a bugle, maybe glass up a bull and get a good game plan. But September 15th, we're really hoping the elk are starting to talk. It's been pretty warm this season. It's warm here. We're at 8,000 feet, and it feels like it's probably upper 60s, low 70s still. So need a change in the weather to really break the elk loose, and it looks like maybe we'll get one here in a few days, but they've got to be bugling. So we're just gonna go up and listen, bugle, maybe shoot, see what happens. But excited to kick off the Idaho portion of Destination Elk V6 2023. You ready?
Yeah.
I hear another vehicle coming up the road.
No.
We're at Grand Central Station here. We met Donnie last night and thought we'd get in a quick hunt this morning before we go back deep, but there was somebody here an hour ago, parked right next to all of our tents and just got off and walked right through the tents up the hill, and heard another side-by-side come up the road, and the road's gated. Well, it's blocked off right here so that you can't drive in there, and we're in a motorized restricted unit, which means you can't hunt off of anything motorized on these trails. But I was walking down the road and the side-by-side came up and just pulled around me and kept driving right up the trail there. So it's going to be an interesting morning. It a solid line of traffic coming up the canyon last night, coming up to hunt for the weekend. So we heard a bull bugle last night right before dark, and we're going to go and hopefully, at least with that little bit of intel, maybe have a jump start on some of the people here and maybe get in and see if we can get them fired up. But ready to kick off the first full day here in Idaho and see if we can find something to bugle.
See if we can get it done.
You have a dad joke?
Not this early.
That's a good dad joke. Was he up in there? Yeah, if I move to the left, I can see. It looks like about the channel he come out. All right, right by it. I'm gonna wait right here. Corner there, bugle. Just give him a straight bugle. about his level. We'll wait for the thermals to switch. And we'll side hill across to his bedding area. If we try going up that hill right now, as soon as we get in the sun, the thermals are going up. Which is what he's banking on. Just gonna get around. This draw is real shady and wet, so the thermals are still coming down. Get to the head end of it, just wait there for them to switch. Once they switch, then we can move in on him. But he knows what he's doing. Right down the road where we left him. Nice view. yards of this bull since daylight. We've been close to him a couple times. We just bugled and he answered up on that ridge. And now that we aren't answering, he's bugled 3 times in a row on his own. He's trying to find us. Sounded like he may have went over a ridge, though. Got a little bit longer till the winds change, so we're going to kind of just take it Unfortunately, that's not the first time that's happened. I thought he was going down. I thought I heart shot him. But when he whirled, I thought I saw quite a bit of arrows sticking out. Hit him right on that elbow again. I was hugging the shoulder. He was slightly quartering. Didn't think it'd go that low. That was, I don't know what to say, stupid. Not the way I planned it. We spent literally all day on that same bull.
Just tailing him. We were 200 yards from him all day.
7 miles we walked. I don't think he went 300 yards.
Yeah.
For us trying to keep the wind right, we were up and down and back and forth, but literally all day we were on him. We'd let him rest for a couple hours, then he'd get up and start bugling, so we'd move in, and we tried cow calling, we tried lazy bugling, we tried raking, and just John and I stalked in one time while Donnie stayed up calling and got within 35 yards of him and could see the tops of his antlers, and then a side-by-side came flying around the corner and he jumped up and boogied like 50 yards. Cows stayed right there, but I ended up bumping him and then got on him again, and we pushed in, got aggressive, and it worked, and he was coming, and I had bugled from where I was and he was coming above us, and so I motioned for Donnie to bugle, and he bugled the perfect bugle at the right time, and the bull came right above us, didn't even know we were there. And I probably should have just shot him while he was walking. I'm guessing he was 20 yards straight up the hill. And I wanted to hit a little low. And I cow called and stopped him, took my time, put the pin right there, but I think aiming uphill, I dropped my arm. Something happened and I hit a lot lower than I should have. And it hit him right on the point of the elbow, and he started bugling again, which is the only thing that makes me think that he's not fatally hurt. I would have been so comfortable at 40 yards, so at 20 yards you'd think it wouldn't even be a thing, but I don't know if it was so close I just put the pin on and forgot to follow through, but we can make all the excuses we want. Bottom line is Jero hit him in the point of the shoulder, the point of the elbow, and didn't get into the body cavity. Well, the bull that I shot yesterday is still bugling down below camp here, so we're gonna see if we can get lucky and call him in again.
Yeah.
He hasn't moved much. He went over, there's a creek over there. He went over to water last night, but then he came back just under camp, and I've been bugling and chuckling, so.
See if we can't run him down.
Or, I don't know. We ran him down yesterday. I think it's time for him to run us down.
Yeah.
I haven't heard him bugle for a little while, but we'll see where he's at and get the wind good. See if we can make something happen. Right on the ridge. That one
Well,
still hurts.
I know.
That's
They are hard to get over.
yeah. I think, maybe backing up a little. Thing you can't see in the video is how far we chased that bull to get a shot at him.
Yeah. It was,
Like, he didn't move very far, but I think we had a 10-mile day or something?
yeah, we got on him at very first light
Yeah.
and chased him up the mountain a little bit, and then all the way to the bottom of the mountain. And
Well,
then,
first we climbed the mountain thinking that he was going to be where he was the night before when I got him to bugle.
yeah,
And then he bugled clear down in the bottom, probably getting water. So we dropped all the way down then. And then he starts going up. And,
yeah,
and we were in tight. Donnie stayed back calling, and John and I just started slipping in. And we were within, I would say, within 70 or 80 yards. We didn't get to see him, but he was just, I mean, you can even tell in the video, the bugles just get that loud, you know, just shakes you when he bugles. And then an ATV went by on the road up above us, the closed road up above us, and he went quiet, and we thought it was over. So we decided to start hiking up the mountain, see if we could find him again. And then, like Donnie said, he bugled back in the bottom, and then he went up above us. And
yeah. Corey let out a bugle, or no, I let out. No, it was you. And he immediately responded, and he was just up the hill from us.
yeah,
And we thought he was like gone.
yep. So then we move up, and the wind wasn't quite good. The wind was still coming down, but we knew it was going to start going up any time. So we went and sat at a water hole for 30 minutes or so, just making sure the hillside warmed up and the thermals got consistent. Moved around above him, and he had dropped back down onto a bench to bed. So Donnie stayed up above, and John and I slipped in again. And I think I was within 25, 30 yards of him. And he was bedded there just through some brush, and you could see his antlers moving. Every time Donnie would bugle, he'd lift his head and look up the hill and let out a couple little bugles there. And then our friend, the ATV on the closed road,
Yeah.
came by again. I don't know if it's the same one, but a side-by-side came by on that closed road, and it was amazing. The bull was, we're 300 yards above the road. And we're sitting there watching him for probably 15 minutes. John and I were there watching him, just waiting for him to stand up to get a shot. And that ATV came around the corner down on the hill below us. He came out like he was shot from a cannon, just jumped up and was gone, running out of there. And so I went up there to see, you know, maybe he was up the hill 100 yards or something. 2 cows still bedded right where he was bedded. He jumped up and left, but the cows didn't. So then when they saw me, they of course went, and then the real game of chasing the bull up the mountain started.
Yeah. He wanted to play. It was definitely his rut day.
Yeah.
And we'd get in close, and he'd move just outside. He knows the range.
Yeah.
He kept moving just beyond. And once we finally got up there kind of on his level.
And pushed him. I mean, I don't know at that point, that was probably, we went a good 3/4 of a mile that last time after we bumped the cows to catch up to him again.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm done getting pestered.
Yeah.
And Donnie called at the perfect time. Bull came in on a string, and
Yeah.
then didn't go exactly as we'd planned.
The video doesn't dictate or doesn't depict how steep that was either.
Yeah, it was a steep hill.
It was a super steep uphill, and he just came walking right above us.
Yeah, it was steep. So I think that'll be our failure analysis topic for today, which is brought to you by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. And it is just losing an animal, the ultimate failure, I think. You know, failing to fill a tag is one thing, but failing to fill a tag because you shot an animal and didn't recover it is it's a pretty big failure in my book.
Yeah.
And, it's one I get a lot of messages and emails about from people saying, man, I lost my first animal this year, and I don't know if I want to hunt again. It still haunts me. I still feel sick. How do I get over that? And, you know, I think there's a couple really important things to talk about, but when we're hunting anyway, we're out there to take the life of an animal, and I think that's a pretty heavy responsibility. And when you do kill an animal, I don't want to dramatize it and, you know, make it all dramatic, but we're taking the life of an animal, and I think it's important to feel some level of reverence and respect for that animal. And so when you couple that with the emotion of the disappointment and everything else that comes with hitting an animal and not finding it, it can be a pretty heavy feeling that we deal with. And, you know, a lot of people that message will ask, how do I get over that feeling, or how do I keep from feeling like that if it happens again? And I just think it's so important that that feeling is part of the process. And if we don't feel that, that's maybe when something's wrong. So it's important to feel that remorse. But I think more than dwelling on that and sitting there and pouting about it, it's important to follow up and finish that job. And, you know, whether that is staying on the trail and tracking the elk, following the blood trail until you find it dead, or until you find it alive and well. But that's, you know, that closure that comes from finishing the job, either finding it dead or alive, brings some relief. And there's times when, you know, you just don't know. You don't know if he's going to die or live. You don't find him, can't track him anymore. Fortunately, in this case, we were able to track him that night. You know, we got him right at dark, and he was still bugling, and he had his 2 cows still with him. The next day we went back in the morning and got back on him, still bugling, still aggressively bugling, much more wary now. But obviously not a fatal shot. And so, you know, finding the elk after a shot and knowing it's not fatal brings some relief that at least you didn't wound an animal, it's going to die, and you didn't find it. But it doesn't really help with the sting of knowing that had a chip shot and blew it.
Yeah, and those are memories that you're going to hold on to forever.
Yeah.
Those failures should help drive you the rest of your life.
Yeah, and you'd think, you know, it only happened once, but you heard me mention there that I've seen that shot before, and unfortunately it was me that made it. I think it was, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago in Wyoming on that bull, hit in the exact same place. And in that case, you know, in Wyoming that year, I was in a setup, had ranged a tree, then decided I was too out in the open, so I moved back like 4 yards and forgot to add 4 yards on. So a pretty big mistake on my part, and just shot low and hit him right in that point of the elbow there. This time, you know, and that's, I don't want it to sound like excuses, but, you know, there's some things that happened that I should have paid more attention to and been more focused on. First, like Donnie mentioned, he was steep uphill, really steep. You can't, you know, John was filming, he has a monopod, and he couldn't go any higher because it was so steep right above us there. So as I'm swinging around on that steep uphill, I think, you know, first shooting uphill, you want to hit an animal a little lower, so your arrow is going to exit higher. So to get into the vitals, I think I was probably biasing my aiming point a little bit low because of that. Second, being steep uphill like that, I'm sure I dropped my arm at the shot, so that brings it down even lower. And then the bull dropping and bringing that point of the elbow back just a little bit there. You know, archery's a game of inches. Yep. Everybody always says archery's a game of inches, and in this case, I think it was less than an inch. Yep. Had I hit half an inch higher or half an inch to the left, it'd have been a different story.
Yeah.
But it happened, and I think if you hunt long enough, things are going to happen. And it's just, the takeaway, I guess, is it's important to do all we can to prepare to make sure these things don't happen, to do all we can to minimize that happening, and then to make sure that we're doing all we can when it does happen to bring closure to it, whether it's finding the animal dead or alive, and realizing that that feeling is part of it, and that disappointment you feel is a natural part of it. And I don't think I would ever want that to go away. I mean, yeah, it's not pleasant at all to experience that and feel it, but if it ever went away, I think it would show that maybe I don't have the respect I should have for those animals.
Yep.
No. I'm still feeling that one.
Yeah.
We've got a couple more days, kind of our Idaho hunt this year. The schedule changed a bit, and I've only got a couple more days to hunt. Then John and Donnie are going to stay and hunt another day or two, but we've got a plan, and I think we're going to get kind of mobile. The area we're in over here, where I shot the bull, is just a lot of people and a lot of access that should be closed that's getting utilized, and it's definitely causing the animals to behave a little differently. So next episode, I think we're gonna maybe go in deep and see if we can find an elk that's not as wary.
Yes. Oh, we still have some giveaways. If you haven't gone to the elk101.com/DEV6, you can sign up with your email there to enter for the 3 prizes that we're giving away from Peaks, Yeti, Mountain Ops, big gear packages.
Cool gear packages.
Yep.
And then while you're there, pick up one of the new Destination Elk V6 shirts, which are my favorite shirts so far. We've had a shirt every year, different shirt every year of Destination Elk.
Yep.
And this one's probably my favorite design.
Yeah, it's a cool design.
Yep. And we're getting far enough into the series, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse and beating the drum on binge watching, but we're at episode 5 here, and the other 10 episodes are already loaded, ready for you to watch right now if you desire to do that. Just over at Fresh Tracks Plus, you can go there and sign up and watch all episodes of Destination Elk V6 right now, instead of waiting till every Tuesday and Thursday here on the Elk101 YouTube channel. So both options are available, and we just got enough requests the last couple of years, people saying, you know, all my favorite shows that I stream are available to watch at once as soon as they come out to stream. So I wish I could binge watch Destination Elk.
Yep.
That's an option if you choose to do that.
Hopefully the viewers have been watching the outro part, because they might not even know that it is available
Or
on Randy's channel.
yeah, or sign up for the Elk101 email list, which you can do at elk101.com, and we send out emails for important things like that and giveaways. And we'll be sending out an email on some really exciting elk call news that's going to be happening here in the future. So be sure you're signed up for that email list, and we'll keep you posted there too.
And we will see you tomorrow in a different location.
Not tomorrow for you unless you're binge watching.
Yes.
But tomorrow for us
Next
in Idaho,
episode.
archery elk hunting. We're going to take a little bow walk and see if we can get a different elk to bugle.